transition pictures for Dolores Cannon. She was a trailblazer in her field, which was hypnotherapy. And she managed to hypnotize a bunch of people over a period of like 40 years and get them to talk about their past lives. Past lives with Jesus. Past lives dealing with aliens. Now, I didn't know very much about her, but I do know that quite recently somebody, a viewer called Jan, hi Jan, sent me a series of books by Dolores Cannon. Here's 2 of them. I haven't read them. In fact, I started the 3rd one, which is called Jesus and the Essenes, and I thought, oh, I better not read this, had I? Because I'm going to be doing Dolores's pictures. So I closed it again, and therefore know very little about her work. That's how it should be, so it doesn't impact what I do here. When I found her, she was walking down a spiral staircase with stone walls, like in a castle turret. At quite a lick, by the way. She was really going down this staircase with a certain amount of vigour. Well, I've got to know what's at the bottom of here. What is this? Where am I going? Where is this taking me? She gets to the bottom, and there's a passageway, like a corridor, a stone corridor. It veers off to the left. She's very quizzical about this. Where am I? What is this? Where are you taking me? A little grumpy, I thought, actually. At the end of the corridor, there's a big window, and it looks into the room I always see with the light in it. Now, I haven't read her book, so I don't know whether that's what she was expecting. But it was there, close enough to touch, had there not been a sheet of glass between her and where she was going. Why can't I get through here? Why is this in the way? A little irritable. Just wanted this to happen. Wanted to know where she was going. Instead, she had to make a right down another corridor. And what was odd was that there was a long window through which she could see the dome, but not reach it. She could observe the room, but couldn't get into it. Further down, there was a sliding door. No entry. She felt like she was banned from going in there. But why? Why would I be banned from going in here? She forces the door open. She gets into the room where the dome is and stands before it and goes, wow, okay, this is it. I know all about this. I know where we go. I know how it works. Like, she's a master of this domain. Fully conversant with the knowledge of where she is and what she's doing. None of it is a surprise. But what happened was that I began, because I'm in the room with her, I began to feel like there was no air in the room. Now, of course, there's no air in the room. You don't need air to breathe during a transition, but this is what it felt like. She becomes a little weak at the knees. It was like, oh, wow. Oh, it's like the universe says no. Did you not read the no entry sign on the door? This is not for you. This is not where you're going. And she leaves the room. Now, bear in mind, this is all metaphorical. There is no air. There is no room. There's no dome. It's symbolic. But it seemed to be something that irritated her. Almost like a VIP lounge for first-class passengers. And she found herself in coach. She carries on going. And there, this is the first time I've ever seen this, ever. There is a second dome. Bigger. In a metaphorical kind of cave, the one I always see. She is going to cross over through the light the way the common herd does. something she was not expecting. Her knowledge, her prowess in this particular field, her sense of knowing it all, I don't know whether she thought she knew it all, but knowing a significant amount, which she did over 40 years, that was her ticket to the big time. Like she had a free all-access pass to all aspects of the crossing over process. But she bought it from a tout, and in fact what she had was a regular ticket. Knowledge, experience in the mortal world don't confer seniority in the spiritual world. But she is very matter-of-fact about it. Okay, this is the way we go. And she opens a flap, climbs in, closes it behind her, pushes away, and then just drops and disappears and dissipates into universal consciousness. I don't know if at any point she realized she'd died, and the spiral staircase was just her slipping into a trance. Maybe that's what death feels like, slipping into a trance from which we don't emerge. Why there are two domes, I don't know. Because it's symbolic, it might be to let her know that she didn't know everything. Maybe some of her research was wrong. Maybe the hypnotherapy sessions were wrong. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. I'll find out more when I read her books. I know a lot of people are very, very devoted to her work and take her extremely seriously. And from the energy in the pictures, she did seem like somebody to be taken seriously, an authority on this subject. But that authority prevented her from succumbing to the flow of this. I will control the flow. I will control where I go. She was imposing her will on the universe, which is the perfect metaphor for our own lives. When we try to control, when we try to push, when we struggle, we bring on our own problems. You can't force the hand of God, essentially. You're not the boss. Which is why surrender is so important, and release of expectations is so important, and assumptions. The more you go with the flow, and that's an old cliche, but it's true, the more you go with the flow, the more the universe can step up and be your guide. Allow us to help you. Allow unseen forces to come to your aid and guide your feet. It's hard to have that level of trust. I read a quote a while ago that said something like, your name is being mentioned in rooms where your feet have yet to tread. That was the message of this. The universe knows what it's doing. Allow it to do what it needs to do to support you. Don't force it. Don't struggle. And that's what I took away from Dolores Cannon's pictures. Fascinating, really. Alrighty, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Subscribe, like, share. Or follow me on Twitter, if you like. That'd be good. Otherwise, I'll see you very soon, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.